Hey guys, welcome back to Mainville ATV and Outdoors, where we do all things all-terrain. Today, we are putting on some 32-inch Traxion Alphas with some Bullite bead locks, thanks to our sponsor, Royal Distributing. We're also going to be discussing why I'm going from 35-inch tires down to 32, so stay tuned. You guys seen my coffee? You'd think I'd be able to... Anyway, 35's, the reason why I'm shelving these. They're not going away, they're just gonna be around at a later date for different reasons. The reason why I bought these in the prairies was because I was gonna do a set of portals. And then I got down the rabbit hole of like doing arms and a bunch of custom stuff and it just didn't work out. Fast forward, we did the move and a bunch of renovations of the house. I just don't have the budget to do what I was planning on doing. That'll be way down the road because if I don't get a kitchen island for my wife, she's gonna murder me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be taking these off. We're gonna go to the 32's and that's gonna allow me to do something that I wanted to do, is take off that sway bar. The 35's fit no problem when you actually leave that sway bar on, but when you take it off and you start to articulate and turn at the same time, you start getting rubbing. For most people, it's not a big deal. It's just self-clearancing. It is what it is. But we're gonna go down to the 32's. We're gonna have no issues with that. Take off that sway bar and it's gonna allow us to get a little crazy. At least that's what I'm told. I was suggested definitely take off the front one. Some people take off the rear. I try not to because I like to take corners a little fast, so probably gonna leave the rear sway bar on, but maybe I take it off too just to try it out. So that's basically why we're shelving these 35's and we're moving on to the 32's that Royal got us. So we're gonna talk more about those. Found my coffee. Average. Okay, Traxion Alpha. This is a 32 by 10 R15, which means it's gonna go on a 15-inch rim, 32 tall, 10 wide. First impressions, pretty stiff compound. It's got a nice flat profile. It's gonna do really well on the trails. 1-inch lug, I think, is what they're claiming. A little bit of sidewall, nothing too crazy. I think it's gonna be a perfect trail light mud tire. If you guys don't know, in the past I've kind of rated tires, I'm not gonna say different than anyone, but kind of like my own little thing. I kind of rate trail or tires based on how they fit on a spectrum between trail and mud. This one would definitely be like an 80 trail, 20 mud. See what I mean? Like kind of like a ratio. Maybe a 70-30, we'll have to see. We won't actually know until we give them a shot. I'm kind of excited. Apparently there's actually some Canadian backing behind these tires. I don't know how much and to what extent, but anything more Canadian, I'm happy with. So Royal sent these out. I'm gonna give them a whirl. It's going to allow me to take off that sway bar and try to do some more articulation, which is my intent with that Maverick. And we also have some Bullite wheels. These are BT-05. Their name is the Rider. Let's see if we can get that out of here. I haven't actually really looked at these. They sent them out and originally the bead lock was red, which normally I'm down with. But the problem is Can-Am doesn't know what a color is, so they always do these weird half colors. My Maverick Sport looks like it might be red. Sometimes it looks like it's orange, but it's definitely not straight up red. These come in red, so I had them powder coated black. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. I'm pretty excited. There is a center cap somewhere, hopefully. We'll find that out in a minute. These are called Gunmetal Gray, and they are a 5+2 offset, which basically means where it bolts in the barrel. So we're gonna install these as well today. I'm gonna show you guys the process on that. Pretty simple. You literally just need some soap and some air and you know, zing them down and you got a tire. Bullite got back to me. They want 18 to 24 foot-pounds in a 3-step process for torquing down the bead. Hand tighten initial torque, final torque, ultimately 18 to 24. Okay, so that's good. I've got these bolts. Looks like a 13 or a 1/2 inch. It's probably a 1/2 inch, but the 13's tight. That's all good. Got myself pretty well set up here because the next phase of this takes a few minutes. Just gonna drop that out of the way. Got my 13. I'm gonna need the right drawer. Kyle, where's, there we go. I'm gonna need a torque wrench because this next part is tedious, but I like to do it properly. especially on video for you guys. That way you see how it's done right, and then you can make poor choices from there like I usually do. Okay, so I've got everything lined up. It is time to actually install the tire on the rim. Pretty simple process, especially with bead locks, makes it really, really easy. You're gonna notice I have some cardboard and some stuff underneath. That's actually just the packaging from Bullite. I like to put dings into my stuff when I'm out on the trail, not when I'm installing it. I've got my bolts, all 864 million of them, center caps, bead locks, the rest of them are behind me. Soapy water mixture, which you're gonna need, some rags to dry some stuff up, torque wrench, and the ratchet, because initially they want it done by hand. We're gonna get into that in a second. I do have to say, like, this is like the easiest tire mounting that you can do, especially in your own personal shop without like tire tools or anything like that. Because what happens is you basically soap up the tire, toss it on, put the bead lock on, install the bead lock, and we're gonna use air to actually pop the bead on the backside of this barrel. This next part is pretty boring. I'm gonna show you how to do one, and then I'm gonna repeat the process 3 more times. And we're gonna get to actually mounting it on the machine and removing that sway bar. Okay, so make some room. This next part, what you wanna do is take your tire and have a good long look at it. Have a chat, get acquainted, because you need to figure out if it's directional. As far as I can tell, this tire is not. There's usually a lot of indicators, especially in the tread. It'll tell you, basically. If you see a V, basically you wanna point the arrow. That's pretty normal for like a mud tire, say like an Assassinator or something like that. In this example, the tread is the same no matter which way you put it, as far as I can tell. And sometimes you'll find little directional arrows to tell you rotation and stuff like that, but it looks like we're good to go. So if you do have a directional tire, make sure that you're doing 2 of each in either direction, because when you go to put them on the machine, you get it. So now we're gonna soap this guy up. What I've got here is actually a little bit of muck off diluted in water, which actually was sent from Royal Distributing as well. More the merrier, it's easier to clean up than anything else. Oh, I am getting soap in my coffee. That's gonna be delish. You want it on your barrel as well, especially for when you're actually going to put the air to her. I'm gonna make this a little easier on myself here. Set that down. Oh, did I go too far? There's gotta be a set of locks right there. Okay. It's like a Family Guy joke. It just keeps going longer and longer. It's just that easy. What do you think? Is this coffee any good? No, we're good. Now that we got that on so easily, I forgot that the toss method is usually the best way to go. Funny enough, the person who taught me to do that the best was probably Drake, but that guy has slung more tires than I ever could. In the HD world, we don't actually do a whole lot of tires. In a lot of the places that I worked, you actually had a tire guy because of how dangerous they are. This is not exactly my forte, but I've done a handful at this point. Yeah, that's a little off. Okay, now that we have the tire on, what you want to do is line it up. You're going to see an edge that'll match your tire perfectly. And you just want to make sure it's right on the money. So when you actually sit, yeah, a little off there. So when you actually sit this down, you'll see it fit right inside. Once you have that sorted out, you take your bead lock and you rest it on top of the bead of the tire. That's why it's called a bead lock. For those of you who've never seen it, what this does is actually sits on the rim and the bead, sandwiching it, and when you torque it down, that rim is not going to let go of this tire. If you do, well, send me the video because I'm sure it was a good time. Take our tray and just start putting in 800 bolts. All right, let's see the actual process from Bullite. So Bullite says they want a hand tighten. Start by hand tightening the bolts in a star pattern to ensure even pressure distribution. Initial torque is the second setting. Use a torque wrench to tighten the bolts to around 10 to 12 foot-pounds in a star pattern. And then finally, increase the torque to the final specification of 18 to 24 foot-pounds, again using a star pattern to ensure even clamping force. We are going to start by just getting all the bolts in. And I have this, like I was saying, I have this convenient bolt bin. And I'm going to put in 8 billion of these, and I'm going to show you how to do the proper way. And then as soon as the camera's off, I'm going to absolutely zing these in. Don't do as I do as I say. That's why I'm showing you this version, but I totally understand realistic time expectations. It is good to do this by hand at first to make sure you're not cross-threading something. That's a general good rule, like right there, that one. Feels weird. There we go, got it. Second step, we are going to hand tighten this. What you're gonna find is the more you cinch down on this, other bolts get a little weird. It is pretty hard to keep track of this kind of thing, but that's why you triple check everything. So once you have it all hand tight, you kind of just want to do a pass and go around, because what happens is every time you seat one of these bolts, it loosens another, and that's why this process is fairly tedious, but it's also the reason why it's important to get the torque right if you want your product to work the way it was designed to. We're going to do the first 12 pounds that they want. It's literally the same thing over again. Yeah, we were at 2 foot-pounds by hand. And you're going to want to cross. It doesn't have to be a perfect science, but as long as you're going to different ends. Because what you'll do at the end, once you have all of these to 12, you'll actually do the circle all the way around to make sure you didn't miss one. So I'm at the point now, oh, found one, where I'm just going to do the circle. And this double checks that I've got my initial 12 foot-pounds, and you'll find that a lot of them aren't at the 12 foot-pounds that you set them to, and that's because your torque keeps changing bolt to bolt because of the previous or the next one that you tightened down. And then you're going to move on to the final phase, which is getting your 18 to 24 foot-pounds. Everyone that I've talked to with these wheels, they've just shot for the center and went for 20 foot-pounds. So we're going to do that. So now that we have 12 foot-pounds-ish, we're going to go for 20 foot-pounds, which might be, oh, this thing goes to 25 foot-pounds. This is just a 1/4 inch. Oh, 20 foot-pounds is the max. So it looks like 20 is what I'm going to do. There's 20. You're going to do the circle pattern again. And it's going red because I'm doing like 20.8 foot-pounds because some of them are still set correctly. But you're going to find the odd one that's actually below. So there you have it. There's that process on one tire. Now we literally just got to slam some wind into it and seat the back bead. You're going to need an air chuck. And some sort of air system. I've got a, I can't remember if it's a 60 or an 80 gallon, 60 gallon in the corner there. And what we're going to do is fill this thing up. Now, there's a few things you need to know. When you're seating the bead, you tend to put a fair bit of pressure in these tires. Sometimes, sometimes not. It all depends. And when you do that, there is a limit before it becomes dangerous. Oh, there's that bolt. This tire says do not exceed 32 psi, which is a recommendation you should probably follow. Figured I'd set you guys up on the party side. So if your bead isn't allowing for air to actually fill the tire carcass, you may have to squeeze down on this, but it's already starting to sit. As soon as you fill it with air, you'll see it gradually move. This one's going really well. If you're into jump scares, this might be it. What am I at? So I've already got 50. Oh, what? There it is. So that one popped at 15 PSI. So I'm probably gonna run this one to 20, and I'm gonna let it sit and dry at 20 and leave them at that pressure for a little while. That's a good looking tire. That's a good looking tire. So I'm gonna do that 3 more times, except this time I'm going to expedite the process the way you should not do. So Royal Distributing, if you're watching, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so now we've got all 4 tires done. That's satisfying. It's just a matter of cleaning up the shop. I think what we're gonna end up doing is putting the Maverick on the hoist. I haven't belly lifted it yet. I'm gonna remove the 2 side panels and then try and just lift it from the belly without any wood blocks. I know it'll work with wood blocks, I just don't know if I can drive on. So we're gonna try that out for the first time. Do a little bit of maintenance, check some grease points, remove that sway bar, and we're gonna go test some flex. Get off TikTok, we have things to do.
I wasn't on TikTok, I'm on Marketplace.
Oh, looking for...
Trying to spend more money.
Yeah. Me too, we're a team.
Wood chips.
Okay, so I obviously made some quick changes to the hoist. My current plan is to literally drive over it with the side-by-side, and the measurements kind of work out that I should be able to lift it 0 problems. It's capable, it's sturdy enough, it's weight rated for this job. I just haven't done it yet, so we're doing a little bit of a test. We're gonna drive over it, lift her up, see how it fits, what's in the way, what isn't in the way. I might need wood blocks. If that's the case, then I know this will do the job. I just want to see if it'll do it without any wood blocks.
Is this a magnet?
Yeah.
Oh. Cool.
All right. Can you drop it?
Like it's hot.
No, boy. You got to go up first. It's on the locks.
Which way's up? They're sideways.
Well, yeah, the green one. Okay, now the blue one.
Can't touch this? What if I press that one?
That one rests it on the next lock.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! What does that mean?
I don't know.
What? What?
I can't do both.
What?
Now you have to back up because your front tires are centered, but your back tires aren't. So you have to give.
I have to go more forward.
Wait. Oh, you were like grazing it.
So now it's. I need to move over.
Yeah, this is the middle, and
Yeah. Your hand signals might as well not exist.
I'm not brown guy qualified. I'll center you. Yeah, that.
So I pretty much did that without you, and you just danced for me. is the impression I got
Yeah, but look
there.
how good you did.
Did I? Yeah, it's close.
3rd time's a charm.
Close enough.
Yeah, look, you like turned, but then your back end didn't have enough space to.
Yeah, it's a little over on this side, but
Yeah.
we'll see how she does.
Will it make it better at flipping into dishes or worse?
It's when you take the sway bar off, it's going to articulate better, so the suspension can move more.
Is that going to make it more tippy or less tippy?
Both. So you're going to be more tippy in corners at high speed, but you're going to be less tippy when you're crawling over stuff. which is why we're keeping the rear one on, so we're just not loosey-goosey going down the road.
That makes sense.
So, but if we have the front, then we have a lot more articulation.
What if we just try taking off one? I'm joking. I know.
Oh my God. I think this is going to self-center.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of dandy, isn't it?
Quite a bit of travel though, eh?
How much room? I should probably watch the ceiling, eh?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're good. Looks good to me. Oh yeah. She's not going anywhere.
Can you believe people doubted this? That's solid.
What's the weight
And
difference?
this side-by-side's like 2,000 pounds probably. So, did you hear the locks?
Yeah. I don't like the sound though. Click, click, click.
It's going past safety mechanisms.
I know, but it sounds like a roller coaster. Click, click, click.
You're a lot of fun to have in the shop. Next job is we're going to take these tires off and make a little bit of room. How cool is this, by the way? Pretty cool.
Super cool.
Thanks, Cass.
You're welcome.
Affirmative support.
Yay.
Loud noises. You might hear the bug zapper and Cass freak out. It's a fun game I like to play. Listen, that bug zapper does a great job. Just saying.
I know.
I don't need pads. You need pads. Don't worry about it. Two. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I can literally just remove one link and all of my problems are solved. So I'm going to do exactly that. That way I don't have to worry about zip tying the bar up or trying to remove the bar. And if I don't like it or whatever, I can just slam it back on. So if I take one link off, it won't be connected, but the sway bar will travel and not be in the way or get bunched up or anything like that. So it is officially front sway bar removed. I might even toy with removing the rear one, but I like traveling at half decent speeds down trails and stuff, so I may keep the back. There. Shiny. There it is, folks. We have to do some torque, but the tires are on. I had a chance to also update some of the graphics because Royal is a channel sponsor. They'll be sticking around a while. So big shout out to them for getting us these Traxion Alphas as well as the Bullite rims. So appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna get this down. What I think I'm gonna do is try and show off the flex with the hoist. So I'll just lift one corner if I can weasel it around and see how much flex we've got. I already know it's more than what we had, but hey, we're gonna see what that actually means. And then next video we have this thing out for, we're gonna put all of this to the test because I can't have an opinion on something before I've actually tried it. I mean, they look great. They seem great, but I don't actually know until I get them out there and put them into the real world. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. Coming down, coming down, coming down. This is cool. I like this a lot.
Yeah. You raise me up. Just kidding. Copyright.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. You wouldn't be able to sing it well enough.
I know.
YouTube wouldn't pick it up.
Good.
Small shot. Okay, I moved the platform a little bit.
A little bit. Dude, that's so cool.
Oh, it just came off the ground right there. Right there.
Look at that flex though.
This is like every 17-year-old kid's Walmart parking lot dream.
We gonna take a slab squat photo
Why?
for when our next album drops?
Go get the Adidas suits. So there it is. There's some flex. And I mean, in real circumstances, it'll probably flex out some more, but the limiting factor is actually the rear end sway bar at this point. But if I had the front sway bar on, it would be a very different result currently. And it did exactly what I was thinking. The sway bar because it's still connected to that side, it will kind of tap the A-arm on this side. It won't actually do anything, I don't think. That might actually be our limitation. Okay, for science, we're gonna try something. For science purposes, I removed the other sway bar. Oh, it's way more. Part of me wants to just
take them off.
Zip tie that up. Yeah, I got a lot more flex. Right there. That's a good amount of flex with no body in it. That's really freaking good, actually.
So.
Okay, guys.
Do you even flex, bro? Watch me.
Okay, I can get a full hand. So for all those Maverick forum people that just have no idea what they're talking about, here's a 32 at full flex, no sway bar, and you've got about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. I can get my hand clear through. So yeah, we are good to go. How freaking cool is that? There's so many bugs. It's probably that swamp that I own. No way. Okay guys, that's today's video. We have the 32 by 10 R15 Traxion Alpha tires. We're gonna put these to the test in the future. Oh, bugs. We also have the 15-inch Bullite bead locks. We also took off the sway bar, so we're gonna have a little more articulation. All of that combined is gonna give us an interesting ride. We're gonna put that to the test soon. We have a ride coming up. We are going to put that to use. Big thank you to Royal Distributing. We've got that all dialed in. They are a new channel sponsor, and they sent out all of this stuff for us. So big thank you to them. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We're gonna have a link for you guys. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.